Listen up, singles. Whether you are single, divorced, or widow, my advice is to stop listening to this internet streets about marriage that is jaded. I want you to find people that are in good marriages, not perfect, but good marriages, because there are good marriages out here. They're not just produced, they are built. And so when you have two selfless people that come together in a marriage that was ordained by God, ordained by God is the key word. Not somebody you chose because you was tired of being single. Not somebody that you chose because your biological clock was ticking. Not somebody you chose because you wanted two incomes and legal sex. Not somebody you chose just to be flaunting on social media that you got a ring and you're married. No, I'm talking about people that actually prayed, they fasted, and seek the Lord on who to marry. Okay, because I understand that God doesn't necessarily choose your spouse for you, but He gives you options of good people to choose from. And so the thing about it is you still got to choose that person, because there's plenty of people that God have shown this is a good person for you, and they went the opposite direction, right? So stop listening to people who hate their spouse and talk about how miserable marriage is and why you shouldn't do it, versus go to the Word of God and see what God says about marriage and how it is about love and covenant, and it's about how it represents Christ's love for the church, which is us, His bride. If you don't have that type of revelation about marriage, stay away from it until you do. Stay away from people who don't want to get married, who don't understand the value of marriage. And please stay away from married people who hate marriage and hate their spouse, because they're coming from a jaded, trauma, toxic viewpoint, because they chose that person. God didn't give them that revelation to marry that person. A lot of times God has given you red flags not to marry the person, and you did it anyway. So you can't be mad at God. So at the end of the day, if you find, like I have a lot of great married folks, including my mom, who's married to my dad for 45 years, who actually love their spouse, honor, respect, have no cheating history on their marriage. You get advice from those people. Stop letting the internet streets give you counsel that isn't wise, that isn't biblical, that isn't sound. Now, granted, there are some people in here that do have that knowledge and wisdom, and there's plenty that don't. So you definitely got to discern who to listen to, who not to listen to, and stop thinking that marriage is a bad thing, because it is not. It is not. And that's why I haven't gone into it any kind of way. That's why I haven't chosen people that I was dating in my past, because God said no to them. And because I knew how serious marriage was, I didn't override when God told me to walk away from that person, or this person isn't good for you, or God allowed them to walk away from me.